Hi and welcome to our really interesting channel. My name's Kate and today we are going to be doing a top 10 countdown. And if you're anything like me and you like something a little bit scary, then this one is certainly for you, because today we are talking about the highest grossing horror movie franchises of all time. Coming in at number 10 and grossing over $464 million worldwide, it's the Friday the 13th franchise. It all began in 1980 when we first met Jason Voorhees, the hockey mask wearing psycho, as he picked off the kids at Camp Crystal Lake one by one. Despite negative reviews at the time, the film has gone on to become a cult classic and has since been looked on much more favourably by reviewers. It went on to spawn countless sequels, remakes and a crossover with The Nightmare on Elm Street, a film franchise that has just missed out on our list. At number 9, grossing over $604 million, do you like scary movies? It's the Scream franchise. Intended as a pastiche of former horror slasher movies, a genre that had certainly been done to death, excuse the pun, Scream provided enough scares to become a classic of the genre. Who can forget the opening scene when Drew Barrymore answers the phone to that now iconic voice? And as a homage to Psycho, the film star was killed within the first few minutes, and we were set for a whirlwind of slashery and scares. 3 sequels that never quite reached the heights of the original, they were still a box office success. Our number 8, grossing over $661 million, it's the Exorcist franchise. The original in this series is perhaps the most iconic horror film of all time, boasting a stellar cast including Linda Blair, Ellen Burstyn, Jason Miller and Max von Sydow in the title role. This film provides so many memorable moments it would take an entire video to list them all. If you haven't taken the time to watch it yet, go now and watch it. Several sequels followed, but there is a theme appearing here. They never quite reached the quality or the success of the first. Number 7, grossing $665 million worldwide, it's Final Destination. Not quite living up to the iconic status of previous entries in this list, it nonetheless provides some genuine scares and a genuinely good concept. After escaping a flight that crashed and killed all on board, a group of youngsters find themselves being stalked by a mysterious force that seemed to want them dead. The writers of this film certainly got creative in their ways of killing a character, and the film is fast-paced and well worth a watch. Sequels followed the same vein, and who knows, there may be more to come. Number 6, grossing $799 million, I think we're going to need a bigger boat. It's Jaws. Well, back on track to the iconic status, we find ourselves being stalked by a great white shark. But not any great white shark, the mother of all great white sharks. Set in and around Amity Island, this film gave us memorable lines, a menacing soundtrack, and overall package that will get any pulse racing. The film also took an up-and-coming director and shot him straight to the stratosphere, where he has stayed ever since. Mr. Steven Spielberg. Once again, less satisfying sequels followed. Number 5, grossing $873 million, it's Saw. Slipping down our sliding scale of iconicness, a franchise that tried its best to outdo itself in the sadistic sense in each installment. Merciless serial killer known as Jigsaw sets people up in various traps and they complete his perverse puzzles in order to escape. An interesting concept that has gone on to produce many sequels. This is a film series not for the faint of heart. Number 4, grossing $890 million, Paranormal Activity. After moving into their new home, a couple set up CCTV cameras after suspecting, well, paranormal activity. Hoping to gather some evidence of spooky happenings, they end up getting a lot more than they bargained for. A film that was a concept all in itself, and it is packaged full of jumps and scares that provided horror fans with something a little bit different. Number 3, grossing $895 million, The Conjuring franchise. With only 3 films so far, this franchise has been a paranormal success story. Director James Wan has managed to do something that modern day horror films really struggle to do: actually be scary. With a very traditional approach, this film series seems to breathe new life into a stale genre. Based on the case files of a paranormal investigator, Ed, and his wife Lorraine Warren, the first film follows a family as they attempt to uncover the paranormal events that plague their family. A spin-off Annabelle and a sequel that can very happily stand up next to the first. Number 2, grossing over $923 million, it's the Hannibal Lecter franchise. I don't think this film can be mentioned without the overwhelming desire to go I don't think this film can be mentioned without the overwhelming desire to go. Interestingly, the first person to play Dr. Lecter in this film series was not Anthony Hopkins, but in fact Brian Cox. No, not that one. Yep, that one. British actor Brian Cox. But it was not till Mr. Hopkins took on that role that the series became a roaring success. Bucket loads of quotable moments, some serious stomach-turning moments, and some moments of sheer brilliance that make this film series very much deserve its place on the list. And in at number 1, grossing over $1.1 billion, it's the Alien franchise. Ridley Scott's directorial horror sci-fi masterpiece was released in 1979 and has gone on to become a classic of its genre. A rare thing to find, the sequel was released to similar critical acclaim. Another film series on our list that has filled with memorable moments, perhaps none more than the image of an alien bursting out of John Hurt's stomach. Although set in a sci-fi environment, this movie franchise has enough thrills and chills in it to be called a true horror classic. Well, that's it for the video, and I hope you enjoyed our first countdown. Please like and subscribe, and more really interesting videos will follow shortly.